notes that help me remember. So this is quite impromptu. I wasn't expecting to, but this is a story that I've shared with everyone over the holiday season. It was something that was very exciting, and it helped put everyone in a sort of the right kind of mood over the holiday. And I used it instead of greeting cards. Wrote it up and mailed it out to everybody. And it's a story about a little boy named Lucas. And I call the story Lucas, the sweetest little boy in the world. Oh. And I met Lucas one morning when I was volunteering at the Preble Street Soup Kitchen, as I've been doing the last couple of years since I moved here from New York City. I've worked about 20 years in the second largest soup kitchen in the country called Holy Apostle Soup Kitchen. They serve about 1,500 meals a day there. And when I came here to Portland, I was looking for something similar, and I found Preble Street. And it's a different operation of a smaller level, but just as busy and intensely occupying and as rewarding. And I've been going on mornings every now and then when I have the time. And I've been working, say, in dishwashing or schmorganizing or whatever else that other people don't feel like doing. And that I find very rewarding to do. Except in New York we have this thing where it requires about 40 volunteers to show up beforehand, all registered and the whole spiel has gone through and everything's organized. But here at Preble Street we're so reliant on volunteers that they have a buzzer at the back, where volunteers come and they ring this bell in the back, and it rings in the kitchen, and then the volunteer coordinator runs out, opens up the door and lets them in, signs them up, they wash their hands, and they present themselves and so forth. And this on a typical morning, we might not have enough volunteers, or we may have enough, but there may be 150 people with the line stretching all the way out front and lined up and going through. And this bell, I have to describe this bell for you. There is something like it. It's, for me, it's reminiscent of the bell that goes off at Scarborough Downs when the horse races go on. This bell, some people will hit it gingerly, and other people will lean on it, and it will ring. And we'll be in the process of serving this or that, changing this food, getting these dishes through. Somebody needs that. And if somebody hasn't gotten to the door, ring. And we'll keep going on. Somebody get that? Will somebody get that? Ring. Well, one of these mornings, this was going on the other time, and I'm just thinking, and they're off. Okay, I'll go get it. Never mind, I'll go get it. And I'm so busy and occupied that my mood is a little changed. Who could this be? Well, obviously it's a volunteer. But I open the door, and who's there? But there's a woman and this little boy, about so high, holding this pan. And she says, "Oh, I'm sorry to bother you, but we had a little donation we wanted to bring for you. It's a little pan of brownies that Lucas and I made for you this morning." And I look down, and here's this little Lucas, about so high, holding this pan of brownies. And I'm looking, and this pan of brownies is like one of those pans of brownies that we all grew up with when we were kids, and they just came out of the oven. You know, the kind that comes out that gets cut into the 2-inch squares. You can just smell them, and your mother would cut them up, serve them out, maybe put some ice cream on them to melt, and chocolate sauce, and just, you could devour them without even touching them. So good. And Lucas says to me, "And they're good too." Oh, that's right. And the wind is blowing outside. "Oh, I'm sorry. Come on in. We'll bring them right in. Come on in." So we go down the hallway and go up to the desk where they leave the donations, and we need to sign you in and who donated it and so forth. I said, "Oh, okay, right here." And Lucas is following along, looking through. You can see through the door into the kitchen all the activity that's going on. People are running in and out, running food, blah, 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 blah. It's a little quieter in the back there with all the food and stacks of boxes. And what do I sign here? I said to him, would you like to see where they're going to serve your brownies this afternoon? He said, "Oh yeah, could I?" He said, "Sure, go on and take him in." So I took him by the hand and we went through the door, and amongst all the flurry of activity, he came through, and people are going through, and his eyes are wide with excitement. There's a big dishwasher over here. The ovens are all back in here, and the windows are over here where the people are all lined up. And said, come on over here. We'll show you. This is where we're going to serve the desserts over here. And he's just, as I'm pulling him along, his eyes are just, wow, look at all this. And right here, this is where we're going to serve your brownies. And he says to me, they're all homeless? I said, well, they're definitely hungry, and they definitely love your brownies, and they might even fight over them. He said, yeah, because they're good. So, I said, have you seen enough? And it took quite a bit to get him to come back. I finally brought him back into the back room. There was a mother. I said, so, Lucas, did you see everything you needed to? He said, wow, yeah. Thank you so much for showing my son, this. And I'm glad that you are able to use them. And say, we'll definitely be able to use these. Thank you so much for bringing them in. And as we were leaving, bye-bye, and they go out the door, and the door slams up. Now, it must have been about, I don't know, maybe it was 2 or 3 weeks later, another typical morning, and we're in a flurry of activity. I'm off running in and out, doing this and that and the other thing, and all of a sudden, ring again. And that's typical. Sometimes you get used to hearing it so many times, the Scarborough Downs doesn't set the houses off for you. But this time it was ring again. I thought, okay, I'll get it. Don't worry about it. And I go back to the door and open it up. I'm not quite sure. It's a colder day, and she's all wrapped up. And she said, oh, it's you. And I thought, okay, come on in out of the cold. And she removes her scarf and everything. She has this large brown paper bag or something. Yeah, Lucas and I came here a few weeks ago, and we brought, the brownies, yes. Said, were you able to use them? Said, they were gone like that. Said, I'm glad. Lucas would be glad to know that. Well, you made quite an impression on him. And I'm thinking, oh yeah? And he said, well, such an impression that he wanted to donate this to you. And look at this, and I said, can you use these? And I open it up the bag, and there's Payday and Reese's and Hershey's and Tic Tacs, and it's his Halloween candy. And I said, his Halloween candy? He said, yeah, I don't know where he was keeping it or where he had it. He had it stashed away somewhere. And you made such an impression on him that he couldn't eat any of it anymore, knowing that there were people that were hungry. And so he wanted to be sure that it was brought and that the homeless and the hungry people could have it. And I thought, thank you. You tell Lucas that that's the sweetest thing in the world. And we can't thank him enough for that. And I ask myself and I ask all of you, can we thank him enough?
Thank you, Lucas! Thank you, Lucas!